So what are the things that married women would like to advise and tell single girls to do or not to do? And I think at the top of of that list, I think everybody agrees, is do not quit your job. Just because you're married, just because you walk down the aisle, the cars ping ping,
PP'd, and
the
people are
women are
lululud.
lead, and now you're like, I'm a trad wife now. I'm a wife. Please keep your job, because you keeping your job makes sure that your passions are being catered to, your creativity is being catered to, or the things that make you are able to be done because you have this job. You have access to money. You can make your own money. Do not let go of all of that simply because you become a wife.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with necessarily, you can have a 9 to 5 agreed, but you can also start a business, which gives you that liberty of going in and out of home the way you want to, keeping your own time and all of these things, but have something to do in your career outside of your marriage. Another very, very important thing, I think, again, goes without saying, and that would be property, property, property. And I think every time I've gotten into a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, and even more specifically in my marriage, there are women who are constantly telling me, babe, listen, it's great that this man loves you. It's amazing that you guys have a nice relationship and you clearly care for each other and so on and so forth. But it is very vital that you have a place to land on. In case worst case scenario happens, you have a landing spot. And that has been something that I've taken into my relationship and into my marriage, all of today's marriage, that I am trying to actually actualize. Like, what am I doing outside of my career? What do I have outside of this person that is just mine? We can have it in two names, but what is just mine? You have your own things, me, I have my own things, we have our own things together. It's important to have your own property. If it's a car, which is a liability, but still it's your car. If it's a house, which is, again, it's still your house. In case of anything, you have a place to go, you have a place to stay, you have money in your pocket, you're good.
And when it comes to friends and family, please remember the boundaries. His friends and his family are not necessarily your friends and your family. Please stay respectful, stay formal, especially when it comes to family, because sometimes you're like, oh, now we're married, now we're one big family, so now I can, do whatever, I can talk whatever. Please remember that at the end of the day, this is his sister. So anything you say and you're being careless about, or anything you do and you're being careless about because you're around family, please remember that loyalties only run so deep. They're going to go back and report to their brother.
For sure.
They're going to go back and report to their best friend. So marriage does not automatically make them your family. It's a relationship you have to build from scratch.
Yes, sir.
So keep it respectful. And remember your boundaries.
Boundaries are definitely important. But another thing is, oftentimes when you get married, you start to give priority to your person. It's like their career, because oftentimes you'll find that, well, at least in the scenarios which we've seen a lot, it's the man who has more money than the wife. And therefore, most times you'll find that the wife is always, supporting the husband, trying to be there for the husband, trying to propel his career, trying to help him, get a head start. I have this project I'm trying to land, making sure everything is in check for this person to be in the best state of mind to land this job. And oftentimes when this happens, you start to put your dreams, Numa. You give your ideas and your ideals and your visions for your own life, you start to push them a little bit further back. And trust me, that's a mistake, because at the end of the day, you are getting married because of what? That's always, I go back to, what was the reason for you guys getting married? Were you getting married so that you can have someone else do everything and you just chill down? Like, was that the purpose of you getting married, just so you can relax? If that was your purpose, then continue doing what you need to do. However, it is very, 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 very vital that as he's pursuing his dreams, she's pursuing her dreams, you're doing the vice versa. If your man is pursuing his dreams, you pursue yours. If you are pursuing yours, let him pursue his, and let's support each other in our endeavors.
Exactly. And I think Kathami has actually mentioned this. Have a life of your own. Have a thing of your own. Have hobbies of your own. Interests of your own. You don't have to like things that your husband likes just because he's your husband. Give each other room to breathe. It would be so exhausting if you gave up on all your interests and all your hobbies and everything that makes you just to support him, just to support his dream, just to, you know, you are never interested in cars. It's good to have interest in your partner's hobbies, but don't make it your own. You know, if you're into baking and they're not, don't give up baking just because they like cars. So now your new hobby is cars. Please remain an individual as much as you are in a relationship.
Absolutely retain your own identity. And it is very vital because, again, it goes back to what makes you you will always make you you. And when you start to supplement it with other things, it may change you, and that's probably not the best route to take in general. Another very important thing is, have you ever met a guy who everything that they own in their house is very specific, but you're like, but then bono na kunyonga tuzo na sio Brookside? Oh no, my mom told me Brookside.
Mama's boy.
But then let me ask you, why did you buy this Tida and not buy a Corolla car? It's like, my mom just told me, you know, this one is more for you. Why did you buy this blue suit and not a black suit? Oh, you know, my mother told me black is better. Can we change that? Nah, cool, no problem, but can I talk to my mom first? Why do we have to have conversations about curtains, about the color of our seats, about the size of our TV, about the size of our fridge, about what we feed ourselves? Why do we have to have these discussions cut across multiple people? Like, why are we consulting your sister? Why are we consulting your grandfather? Like, do you know what I mean? We want to buy a house. Yeah, let me talk to my brother. You know, he told me. Why? Why do we have to run everything through your siblings and your friends and your family, or more specifically, your mama? I think it's important for you to have your own mind. A person who does not have their own decisions, like we agree on something and we stick to our agreement, they're always still listening to what other people are saying and taking that over what we had agreed on. That's not a person you need to be with, simply because they will always leave you last. You're not a priority. Everything you discuss is just a conversation. They will never actualize what you discuss because they have to consult. They have to go back to. They have to refer to. So anyone who's always listening to information and taking up advice and whatever, specifically from everybody else except you, I don't think you want to be in that situation.
Yeah. And also keep the things in your relationship in your relationship. Just avoid the thing of always telling everybody your business, running to your relatives. You have a small disagreement, you run to your friend. You have any form of disconnect, you run to your mother and tell her, me think he's seeing someone else, me think da, 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 da. The thing is this, with this, you're more likely to forgive your partner.
True.
Okay? You guys had a disagreement, you forgive each other, you kissed, all is good. But you forget that you involved other people. So
They don't
everyone
forget.
is looking at you mad because you're like, so you went back to him. What was the reason? What was all of that drama? So please, as much as you can, keep it to yourselves. If you guys are going through something, go to therapy. Pay for an unbiased opinion, because at the end of the day, we're looking at you mad. There's an uncle of mine to date. I look at him very mad because I remember the things that my auntie said. I remember the tears that my auntie cried. So anytime she comes around and she's with my uncle, I just look at her like, girl, why? Why are you back with this man? Yes, they made up. You know, they had their own thing going on. The relationship was strong. They were able to work through all of the hurt and the disrespect. But me, who was privy to all of that information, and it was shared with me, they could have gone to therapy. But alikuja kwetu. So now I'm always looking at him mad, weird, because you're a disgusting man. Yeah, so don't.
And it's harder for other people to forgive your partner than it is for you to forgive them. They have no stake in whatever your business is.
I hate that man with a passion.
You see, she has no stake, but you love your man. She, on the other hand, is looking at you like, girl,
we could
this your
king.
This your, do you know what I mean? So yeah, always remember that it will be harder for other people to forgive than you to forgive this person. And this one is advice I'm giving to you as I'm giving it to myself. Woo! Sometimes you get married and you get so comfortable. Yani mnakanyanga cruise control, you know? You don't worry about anything. Relax to you. Unavutishwa, unalishwa, unalalishwa, unafanyishwa. All the things is ishwad. So you get so comfortable. You don't even, your brain doesn't want to think. Relax to, umepiga tu, pause. What do you think? You know, even food. What do you think? It's like every small little thing you're asking your partner, what do you think? They're always the think tank. Where kazi yako ni copy paste and apply, you know? don't get too comfortable in your relationship and in your marriage and in your life as a married partner, simply because you will lose a lot of your self-identity. You will lose a lot of your personal growth. You will lose a lot of the things that you can work on as a person and accomplish as a. And I know it's hard. Najua, Benjamin najujua. It's so difficult to not be comfortable. Like you sometimes you just are looking for things to make you uncomfortable. You can't find, but always give new life to yourself. Always feed into yourself. Even if it's picking up a new hobby, pick up a new hobby. If it's trying a new venture, try a new venture. Just keep yourself engaged mentally. It will help with personal growth. Plus, the other person won't get bored. Because unfortunately, if I know I left to go to work, I left you at home, right? And I know I'll come back and I'll find you at home. I feel like you've done nothing in your day that could be entertaining enough. So when I ask you how was your day, and you're like, yeah, it was all right. I was just chilling at home. The next day I ask you what was up with your day? I was all right. I was just watching a TV series. And the next day, of course, I'm going to get bored about your answers, so I'll stop asking you altogether. And that leads to other things and other things and other things and other things. So my point is, don't be comfortable. Force yourself. Pause.
You said don't get comfortable, and I just envisioned the way I walk into the house and remove my wig.
Thank you.
At the door.
Thank you.
So unasema tusitoe wig kwa mlango?
Apana. I'm saying don't be comfortable when
About
it comes to your life.
Okay.
Give yourself an activity. Give yourself an ambition that you keep following. Give yourself goals that you keep following. Otherwise, yeah.
And another thing that, you know, married women would not advise you to do is move into your partner's family house. Living with your in-laws. Living as nice as they may be.
Saints.
They could be saints.
Ooh.
But please do not
Best
live
of the
with
best.
them. Because at the end of the day, those small resentments build.
Yes.
There's a lot of indifference.
Privacy.
There's no privacy. You can't hug your husband the way you want in front of his father.
You know?
How?
You know?
So, you know, there's no privacy. There's no chance for intimacy. You can't even do things loudly. My God.
If you fight, they hear. Unajua, that's the thing. Every conversation wanasikia. So they have inferences.
They're like,
what happened?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's always...
They have first-hand information about your marriage.
Exactly. As we said,
day.
Their family is their family.
True.
So they'll always take their side. Unapenda kucheza kijana wetu, mbona hausmile, mbona hauko happy, tunakupatia
kwani kila siku ni skuma, kwani kila siku ni, it starts becoming very tired very fast.
Even you're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to prove yourself,
so
even in this family.
A lot of pressure.
So you overextend yourself. Unapata unapika sapa kila siku. Wow. Unaosha vyombo kila siku. Even the house help of the house is like,
I'm really needed.
You're
fighting for chores. You're fighting for chores with the house manager. Sorry.
So please, just live with you and your partner.
Yeah.
Do not feel the need to move in with your in-laws. Yeah. Avoid it if you can.
Even if it's a small house. Even if you're starting small, start small.
Yes.
Even if you're starting in a bedsitter and
leave that mansion alone.
Can you
leave alone?
Have you not watched enough stories? And you know that the problem is, oftentimes when you're moving in with your parents or your in-laws, it's because they were such nice people. They've always been nice to you. And no one's in-laws are bad. Until you people start crossing each other's boundaries. That's where the problems start. Maras juu, kwanza ulisema nini? They're nice. Everyone is nice from a distance. Just like your friends. Sometimes you just want them to be a little far to miss them. Same was up. Another one, this one, I will leave number 10 to Turi. I will do number 11. If his family does not accept you, I repeat, if his family sees you and they're like, not this one. Can you collect all of your energy? And by the way, and I add a caveat: if your family does not receive you or accept you, and the man has not decided to take you as a priority over the opinions of his family, because sometimes your man can just be like, okay, fine, you don't like her, me, I like her, me, I'm marrying her, y'all are not marrying her, we're just gonna be over here in the corner until y'all sort out your mess, and then we can link up later. Good, amazing. But if he is being convinced ati uyo akiuyataka kwanza wasichana weupe hawakuangi wazuri, huyu atabebwa na kila mtu, And the man is over there just saying like, oh, he's not defending your honor. He's not saying, can you people stop? You don't know her, how I know her. Me, I'm in love with her. In fact, you don't know. You know, you need to, that energy. If that's not it, if you're not getting that, please, can you exit the chat? Collect your small, small love. Collect your small, small dignity. Collect all of it and exit the chat. Because let me tell you, you're in for a world of trouble.
It only gets worse.
Oh, baby girl. Oh, you've seen these people who visit their son's house just to piss you off. Like she will come, especially the mother-in-laws. I have a very amazing mother-in-law, by the way. Yo, she's amazing. But some stories you hear where the mother-in-law just comes, sets camp in the house for 2 months. You are in your own house, but you're not comfortable. Let me tell you, it gets worse. It gets worse. Exit the chats.
Kindly, expeditiously.
Hey.
And then, Barbara the builders.
Oh.
Y'all know yourselves. Y'all know yourselves. At no point, just allow the man to be the man. Allow your husband to be a husband.
If those are the dynamics of your relationship, yes.
Your boyfriend to be the boyfriend, you know. Do not take up bills and responsibilities, not because they cannot do them. They really can. It's within their means. They can take care of these bills. They can take care of these responsibilities. But because you feel the need to make him more comfortable, to make him realize I am wife material pro max, there's no other than me, don't do that. Because the minute you take away this from him, what is he left with? You know, you're not allowing your partner to be your partner because you're doing everything.
You're giving them extra money to do other things.
You're paying rent, you're paying everything, you're paying school fees, you're doing everything. What does your husband do? How is he a husband now?
Where does it stop?
So it also, they become resentful.
Absolutely.
Because if she can do
everything, they start to feel like,
what does she need me for? You know, I'm like a puppet in this house.
There's lack of balance in that relationship.
Yeah, I have no say. Even if I want to talk, we should move to a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
Who am I to
I
voice
can't
this
fight
opinion
you. Yeah.
when I'm not paying rent?
I'm not.
I
So
haven't
we
bought
move
this house.
Yeah.
Our children should move to a better school.
Okay.
Who am I to say this?
What can I
when
do?
I'm not paying school fees. So it becomes a bit resentful when you're taking over all of these tasks
Absolutely.
and responsibilities and bills that they can comfortably be doing.
Yeah, I think those two are in the same energy. You taking up responsibilities that they can afford to do, and you not taking up any responsibility. They're on the same, because there's always going to be an imbalance in your relationship. Once one person is doing way more than the other person, there's just that weirdness in it. So just figure out your balance and you'll be okay.
True that. Anyway, happy weekend, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves.